October 24th, 1863. Dearest Anne, I encountered a rebel forager yesterday, which was quite a shock being so far behind the banks of the Potomac. I'm sorry to say that the man opened fire upon me, and it was my duty to kill him. I have arrived in the town of Burkittsville, Maryland, which is where my company is currently quartered. I have not yet met my new commanding officer, as he is a busy man, but I am waiting to report to him now, which has given me a moment to jot down these words.
Come in, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. He was foraging for food.
The enemy sends in small teams like this from time to time to find food and supplies, and disrupt our communications whenever possible. I believe there's a small unit of maybe 8 to 10 men operating out of the woods, not far from town.
If you know where they are, why don't you just send a unit in after them?
That's why I need you, Lieutenant. Now, I'm sorry to have to do this to you so soon after your arrival, but you're the only combat-experienced officer I have right now, and we've got to put an end to these raids. I'm well aware of your record, Lieutenant. Listen, I get all kinds of troops assigned here, from down-home farm boys who don't know which end of a rifle to point at the enemy, to men who've seen way too much of the horror of war, like yourself. But I have to do the best I can with what I've got. Washington just can't afford to send any troops out here to track down a single rebel foraging unit, so we have to take care of them ourselves. And you're the only officer I have right now who isn't a green volunteer or useless at commanding men.
I know, sir, but it...
But nothing. I've seen your record, and you know how to lead men. Right now, I need a man like you, and I am giving you a direct order to take a small group and find those rebels. Now, Lieutenant, are you going to refuse this order?
No, sir. You can count on me. When do I leave?
Immediately. I've taken the liberty of selecting some men for you. They're waiting for you outside. They're good men, Lieutenant. 2 of them combat veterans, and a 3rd local man who's been stationed here about a year. Mosley's his name, and he should be able to tell you a bit about the local terrain. Your orders are to take your men and head toward the forest along the main road, crossing in when you meet Tappy Creek East. Find the rebels, report their strength, and avoid direct engagements if you're outnumbered. Otherwise, use your own discretion in confronting and eliminating any raiders you encounter. Any questions, Lieutenant?
Call me Skunk, sir. Yes, sir. I'll see what I can do.
curious woman, that Mrs. Weaver. She's convinced that the search party is doomed. She put the fear of God in me.
Her son was like that too, before he died, and they say her mother was even more attuned to the spirits, but I didn't know her. Died in childbirth, I believe.
Where do you think the little girl is? Has she disappeared before? Kedward?
The infamous Wood Witch of Blair. And people say she haunts those woods, talking to them in a mysterious voice and appearing as a ghostly apparition of an old woman. People around here believe she prowls the woods, stealing little girls. Some say her mother's ghost still haunts the woods looking for the little girl, while others say it's the witch looking for more victims.
I gave Mrs. Weaver my word. Besides, I just can't seem to get that girl out of my head. It's like I can feel her inside of me.
She's got an infectious personality, I'll give her that. She has that effect on a lot of people around here. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't much believe all this supernatural sleight of hand, but there is something unique about Robin.
What else can you tell me about the woods?
There's quite a few legends in this area. People say the ghosts of Indians and Hessians haunt the forest, looking to take lost souls. There are also the legends of the Snallygaster, a hideous beast that's been seen from time to time, usually around the same night of a local party or wedding. People tend to see ghosts and goblins more easily after a night of hard drinking and storytelling. No one seems to be able to agree on exactly what this beast looks like. Then there's the usual stories of ghostly soldiers from the Civil War, but those are just stories. I don't think any of these stories are true, but they sure make for good tales.
Where do you think is the best place to start looking for Robin?
I think I've held you up long enough. If you are going to search for Robin, you should get a move on before nightfall.
Yeah, you're right. No sense in wasting daylight. Any last words of advice or help you can give me?
Take care of yourself, Lazarus. I hope you can bring Robin back safe.